Okay, y'all, I'm gonna be with everybody in just a few. My computer decided to update on me, so I am just pulling up my slides here. Okay, so we can get into this missing persons case. Okay. So again, like I say in all of my videos, um please, if you don't like any other content that I do, at least when it comes to the missing and unsolved murder cases, please like those and push those videos up in the algorithm. Interact with them by commenting and liking the videos, because it gets the videos more um awareness and stuff, and when they have more attention on them, it gets people to remember these young ladies faces, and hopefully um like our end result is, our goal rather is to get these young ladies home, get them back safe and sound with their families. Okay, that's our hope, but we all know that that doesn't happen every time, so it's either the goal is to get them home, or the goal is to get the families justice and closure, and I'm just keeping it real. you know some of these people, when they go missing, they're not always showing up alive, and I hate to say it like that, but it is the truth. This is no disrespect to Krystal's family, and I'm not even really referencing Krystal. I'm just speaking in general about what I often come across with missing and murdered uh black women and children. So okay, this young lady on the left is Krystal. The man on the right was her boyfriend. Okay. Without further ado, let's jump into this article. And y'all have to forgive me because I am a little aggy tonight. I do have like a seasonal allergy cold thing going on. So yeah. So it says boyfriend charged with kidnapping in 30-year-old mother of four disappearance in South Carolina. Okay. Law enforcement in South Carolina named a suspect Wednesday in the disappearance of a 30-year-old mother of four from Wagner and made an arrest on the same day. So that is really, really good news because if you have been following Black Women Aware for a long time, you know that usually in a lot of these cases, the police don't always have enough evidence to charge anybody to do anything. So the fact that they at least charged him and they have enough evidence to know that he has something to do with her disappearance, that is a very good thing. Okay. So it says 30-year-old Krystal Anderson is a mother of four, and she was living with her 49-year-old boyfriend, Tony Lee Berry. Now, she was 30, he was 49, so he was almost 20 years older than her. And one thing that I came across upon researching this case was a lot of people was questioning because, as we can see, I'm sorry, I said Brittany. Krystal is very, very pretty. She's very pretty, and she's young, and a lot of people were questioning, like, why is she with this man? Physically he doesn't look good or whatever, but you have to understand, some women out there are not dating for a man's looks. Okay, all women are not attracted to a man's looks. Some women are like Beyonce, they are attracted to people who, because I'm be honest, Jay-Z ain't necessarily all that attractive to me, but Jay-Z, because of his the fact that one, obviously the most obvious thing, Jay-Z is, I believe he's a billionaire. I don't believe Jay-Z is a millionaire anymore. I think he's a billionaire and and not only does he have money, he has a very masculine way about him. Some women like that in men. Okay. All women don't date men because they are cute or handsome or things like that. Some women, when it comes to pretty boys and stuff like that, they actually see those type of men as feminine. Okay. So some women like men that look like this, but that is neither here nor there. And I was getting irritated with people like bringing that up. Oh, look at him, he is not as cute or not as handsome as other men or whatever. And I was getting irritated because I have covered cases where some of these men have not only unalived their girlfriends, wives, mothers, children, what have you, and they unalived themselves, and they were really freaking handsome. Okay, so you always can't look at somebody's looks and gauge whether or not they're like they're a good person or whatever. And a lot of women get caught up with that. They look at these men and they see them as handsome and all. They don't look, they like very shallow. Okay. And that's all they look at. And then they end up with this person. Then you realize this person has all kind of problems, from financial to mental to emotional to old childhood trauma. You know what I'm saying? It's just like buying a Benz and the Benz don't have no engine, or a Tesla and the Tesla don't have an engine and all. So I was upset with that because I felt like people were allowing themselves to get distracted with something that was so minor and wasn't neither here nor there. At the, we have a bigger issue going on. We still don't, I don't believe they even know where she is, or if she is no longer with us, where her remains are. Okay, so we still have a bigger issue that we need to be focused on, rather than this man's looks. Now, is he my cup of tea? No, but I care less about that. That's not what I'm covering this case over or about or anything like that. So let's just keep going. So yeah, I was irritated because people was focused on the wrong shit, basically. So it says Brittany was last seen by her family and friends on August 20th. Okay. August 20th, and was reported missing 3 days later on August 23rd. Her boyfriend was reported missing shortly after. Okay. Law enforcement took time to conduct research and interviews, and then named Barry as a suspect in Krystal's disappearance. So, like I said about the case that I just covered a few minutes ago, usually when you have somebody and they were the last individual to see the missing woman or child or whatever, they should be the first one that want to step up and help, and they don't have anything to hide. So when they disappear after that other individual has disappeared, or if they're trying to elude the police or the family or anything, that is a big red flag. Okay. So it says he was arrested on Wednesday night uh on one count of kidnapping. Okay. Tony Berry, that's his name, was found in West Columbia. Krystal's sister, Shedra Smothers, says the arrest is not the end. Okay. We just said that. We know the arrest ain't the end. That's just the beginning. We got work to do. Now we got to focus on where is Krystal, and we have to pin charges on these, make sure the charges are pinned on these men, like make sure he get convicted. Okay. And tell what he know, because a lot of times you would have something like this go down, and you would have the man, or you would have the police come up with enough evidence to show that the missing person is unalive, or they're no longer of this world, and then you have somebody locked up, or some type of narcissistic, sick in the head boyfriend locked up, and you're pressuring them to try to get them to tell you where is this person's remains, where are they at, and they torment the family because they won't tell the family where the person is, so the family can fully get closure. So I agree with Krystal's sister. She is absolutely right. This is definitely not the end. This is the beginning, and we have a long haul ahead of us. Okay. So She continues to say, I've got to tell my mom something, and I almost wish I didn't have to tell her he was captured, because now her question is, where is her baby? Exactly. Exactly. Where is she at? I don't know what to tell her, Smother said through tears. Okay. That has to be a very hard conversation. And my heart goes out to Krystal's family. I would not want to be in her sister's position, to have to be the one to relay that devastating news. It's already hard enough for me being an outsider and just reporting on these cases. Okay. I oftentimes can not only identify or have empathy for the missing person, but when I get to interview some of the families who have come on Black Women Aware and have interviewed with me, I do emotionally connect with those people, okay? Because I do have empathy and I am caring. So just being on the outside and looking in and being an advocate for these families, that is where I have to draw the line, because my heart can't take anymore. So I definitely pray for Krystal's family. I could not be her sister and have to be the one to tell my mother, hey, the police was able to nab Krystal's boyfriend, my sister's boyfriend, and all, but we still don't know where my sister is. Mama, we still don't know where your baby is. That is a hard conversation, okay? Hard conversation. So it says, according to the police report by Aiken County Sheriff's Office, deputies responded to a missing person report on August 24th and spoke with Krystal's mother, Wanda Sumter. Okay. Wanda told deputies it was very irregular behavior for Krystal to disappear, as she normally has communication with Wanda or other family members on a daily basis. Okay. And again, that's one thing that I also stress when it comes to missing persons. I am so tired of people who have a family member and this family member is missing, and they go to the police and they police will drag their feet and they'll say, hey, maybe that person, they wanted to go missing, maybe they didn't want. No, you need to pay attention to what the family is saying and all. If the mother and the sister and the brother and the father, or who have you, husband, children, if they're telling you, hey, my mother, Jane Doe, she would not just up and leave us. She would call us. She would check in on us. I don't care what she had to overcome to get to us. Rain, sleet, snow, hell, high water. My mother is going to check in. The police need to listen to families when they're telling them that. Okay, it irritates my very soul when you have somebody like Miss Wanda and they're telling the police, hey, that's not Krystal's normal behavior. Krystal don't just up and leave and don't contact nobody. And I feel like a lot more of these missing persons cases can be solved a lot quicker if police officers and detectives, and this is just my opinion, I feel like they're being lazy when they don't immediately take into account what the families are saying them. Hey, this isn't Krystal's normal MO. She normally will check in and hit me up or whatever. Listen to them, okay? Because you can prevent yourself, officers, detectives, from having a homicide, from having a 10, 20, 30 year old missing persons case. Okay, if you listen to these families, they know they people. Okay, stop telling them some bullshit like, oh, well, you got to wait 24 to 48 hours, and oh, maybe Krystal just didn't want nothing to do with y'all. Because even people who want to unalive themselves, if they're doing it as a cry for help, and this is my medical experience, I'm speaking from my medical experience. Usually when people want to even go as far as to unalive themselves and they do it as a cry for help, they will usually start giving their belongings away. They will start telling people goodbye. Their behavior will change. Okay, they will show you that something is wrong. They're not just gonna disappear. Okay, they're not just going to disappear. That's very rare that happens, that people just disappear and they don't, like, especially if they had a problem with the family, because usually when people have a problem with their families and all, and they don't want anything to do, they have something going on internally. They're hurt and they want to be heard. So usually before they cut your ass off, they gonna say, hey, this is why I'm cutting you off. This is why I can't be around you. Even if they have to do it indirectly. And by indirectly, I mean getting on social media and all and leaving a subliminal. They're going to leave some type of breadcrumb. They gonna be like Hansel and Gretel. They not just gonna disappear. Okay. So if you have a mother, you have a son, a husband, a wife, or whoever the individual is to that missing person, and they're saying to you, police officers or detectives, hey, this ain't Krystal's normal MO. Krystal just ain't gonna leave for a few days and not hit us up. Then y'all need to listen. Okay. I just had a case who the police officers dragged their feet or whatever, and the lady, like, they had all the clues, y'all. I was so pissed with that case. I believe it was the one that came out of Cincinnati, Ohio, where the young lady went missing. And one thing that it described about the circumstances of her disappearance was, it said that she went missing and the last person who seen her or who was with her was a strange man. And then you have the mother talking to the cops and saying, hey, this ain't her normal MO. And allegedly she hit me up and she said, mama, where are you? Like she had been trying to get a hold of her mother or something. And y'all, it teed me off to no avail, because again, that's further proof that people are dragging their feet, especially when it comes to Black women and children. They don't give a fuck. Okay. And I hate to curse and say it like that, but I have to be brutal with these videos, because I need for the Black women who listen to Black Women Aware, I need for y'all to take this shit seriously, because it could be y'all one day. Okay. You have to take it seriously. And just like you would come up with a game plan, if, for example, if you live in the South and you live in a hurricane ridden state or whatever, where y'all frequently get hurricanes or whatever, you're going to have a game plan on how to survive the hurricane. Whether your game plan is to leave the city or whatever or what have you, you're going to have a game plan. You need to have a game plan as a Black woman in case somebody want to snatch you up and do something to you. Okay, especially if you fall within that range. What's the range? The range that I always talk about on BWA is that height and weight range. Okay, and I always say that for those cases, unlike Krystal's, but those cases where it's S-word trafficking involved. Okay, this missing person does not know the individual who snatched them up, but they got snatched and forced into S-word trafficking. Usually, what the majority of the cases that I cover on BWA, the woman is between the height of 5 feet and 5'5" 5 feet and 5'5" So she's between the height of 5 feet and 5'5", and she's between the weight of 100 and 150 pounds. Okay, so I'm not saying out if you're outside of those ranges, you cannot come up missing. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is if you fall within that range, you need to have self-defense classes. You need to be carrying special weapons and all. Because what I'm noticing is most of the young Black women that I cover on Black Women Aware, and I do not go in and cherry pick cases. I have no favoritism. I don't care about your background. I don't care about your complexion. I don't care who the hell you was. I could have had beef with you. I don't give a damn. If you come up missing and you were a Black woman, I'm going to cover your case. Okay. So basically why I'm saying that is when I just go in and I randomly pick these cases, I find that certain height and weight, they're at higher risk for stuff happening. Okay. But not to have gone on a whole rampage or anything, but yes, I get so irritated when these families, because I know these families ain't lying. I know they're not lying on the police when they go into these police, because a lot of people have said that, hey, we went to the police and we told them that's not her normal behavior. And they said we got to wait this slouchy ass 24 to 48 hour wait or whatever, because the person was grown, or the person when it's Black women and children, especially Black female teenagers, they'll say, oh well, she's just a runaway. Well, let me tell y'all something. I was a runaway. And I never, when I ran away, I went all the way from northern Indiana to Mobile, Alabama. And before I left, not only did I show my family signs that something was wrong with me or whatever, but oh y'all, I'm getting mad. I'm getting mad, y'all, because they would take a Black female teenager and they'll say, oh well, maybe she's just a runaway, and no, even runaways will give you signs and clues that something is wrong. We're not our normal selves. Something happened. Okay. But let me get back on it. So, anyways, the report also states that Wanda was very concerned due to the past history of violence with Krystal and her boyfriend, Tony Berry. Okay. And again, another thing that rings true about Black women is if they come up and they're unalived or they come up missing, you need to check whichever male Black man was around them. Now, I'm not trying to say this to sound like a she man woman hater, but I'm saying it because it's real shit. Not just the boyfriends and the husbands. You got to check their sons, because I've covered cases where the Black women were unalived by their very own sons. You got to check cousins, uncles, whatever proximity they had on a daily basis with a certain Black man. You have to check them first, because the stats already say, y'all can look them up yourselves. Majority of time when Black women are unalived or come up missing, they had some type of proximity with some type of man. Okay, that's just true shit. So, it says on Wednesday, September 28th, the Aiken County Sheriff's Office announced in a press release that the last time she was seen, it is believed, okay, they don't know for sure, it is believed that Krystal was in the company of Tony Lee Berry at her home on Severn Road in Wagner. It goes on to say that results in this investigation has led investigators to obtaining an arrest warrant for Berry in relation to the disappearance of Krystal. Berry was arrested and taken into custody on Wednesday, this past Wednesday evening, by Captain Eric Abdullah in the Aiken County Sheriff's Office. And it said that they had a tipster spotted Berry and called the police. According to Captain Abdullah, the Lexington County Sheriff's Office arrested Berry, and he is currently being held at the Lexington County Detention Center. Captain Abdullah said Berry is charged with kidnapping and is expected to be transferred to Aiken County Detention later today. It is unclear if Berry has an attorney at this time. Okay, as the family continues in their search, they ask anyone with tips or information about Krystal to come forward and contact law enforcement. They also ask for continued prayers and positive thoughts as they work to bring their sister, daughter, mother, and friend home safely. Okay, so they have a post down here from, I believe, the sister, and it says, so apparently it's not against the law to kidnap someone Black and put them in the trunk of a car. Okay, and this is alleged. I have to say that because I don't know how true this is or not. This is a post that the author of this article is sharing from the sister of Krystal. So I have to say alleged, okay? So again, I'm going to start over. She says, so apparently it's not against the law to kidnap someone Black and put them in the trunk of a car. And it's also not against the law to set your vehicle on fire. So do y'all see why I stress trying to get families to talk to me on this platform? Because usually they know a little bit more than we do. And again, I don't be trying to get them to go into deep, gruesome details of the case. That's not the point. The point is, usually when I read the circumstances of disappearance surrounding missing persons cases, we don't have a lot to go off on. And usually if you don't have a lot to go off on, people are not going to remember the case. They're just going to say, that person went missing this day and time. All right, their car showed up. Okay, whatever. And it's on to the next one. That's just real shit, y'all. Okay, so it says the vehicle was set on fire. Just say you were in a crack house and your car was stolen. What? 29 days later, and my sister Krystal Chanell is still missing. She was heard screaming while being put in the trunk of Tony Berry's vehicle. Witnesses, and this was witnessed by her 9-year-old son. Wow. Okay. Aiken County Sheriff's Office was very insensitive and uncaring about my sister's disappearance. Okay, so I need y'all to listen to what this sister is saying. She's saying something that I literally repeat every day or every time I share like a broken record on BWA, that they literally don't care about Black women and children. This is why Black Women Aware was created, because I realized when I was going through a DV situation, nobody really gave a damn. That's why I created this channel, to show other Black women that I care. Okay, I care. But she said that not only was the sister allegedly put into the trunk of Barry's car, but he did it in front of that 9-year-old baby. You know, and so I hate to get children involved in serious things like this. And I understand that child is going to need a lot of serious counseling or whatever. Because I've had children, y'all, just see their parents get slapped, and they needed trauma, and they had trauma to where, for example, they would hear a certain song or see something on TV that reminded them of that day, and they would shut down. So imagine seeing your mother get put in a trunk by her abusive boyfriend and all. So I don't doubt that that child is going to need some type of therapy, but I really hope somebody sat down and questioned the child as to what they seen and all, what they heard. Did this man give off any clues as to where they were going? What were they fighting about? And things like that. Okay. So it goes on, because she has a long post here. And I'm hoping that this thing, I'm going to have to kind of adjust my phone because it's not showing me the whole post. Okay. So again, Krystal originally went missing on the 20th of August. She was reported missing on the 23rd of August. And so her sister goes on to say, 29 days later, and my sister, Krystal Chanell, is missing. She was heard screaming while being put in the trunk of Tony Berry's car, witnessed by her 9-year-old son. Aiken County Sheriff's Police Department, or the office rather, was very insensitive and uncaring about my sister's disappearance. Okay? From the very beginning, and totally disregarded our family's cries for help, which is why there is a Black Women Aware. Even still, they don't have this man's picture in the news. This was before they put his picture on the news. So obviously they did, because when I got a hold of it, they had his Dinkleberry braid having ass on the news. Okay, let's keep going. They are not even looking for this man or considering him a person of interest, even after finding his vehicle that was set on fire. Okay, sounds like somebody was trying to rid themselves of evidence. Okay, however, if my sister was a clear woman, there would be all kinds of warrants for his arrest, and his face would have been on every news station that as a wanted man. And she ain't lying. And I keep referencing the recent case in Memphis, Tennessee, with the clear woman who was a teacher who was snatched up. She was snatched up, and they not only had her corpse within a week, they had the culprit locked up, and they had his full timeline of his criminal history all within a week. Now, again, like I always stress when I use that case as an example, no matter where you are, who you are, what race, creed, religion, what have you that you are, if you come up missing or somebody snatches you up, you deserve justice just like the next person. But it's always it says something to women like me, people of color, and Black women when something like this happens. Okay, something as serious as Krystal's case happens, and it's swept under the rug. Again, a lot of times when I say dates, it just goes in and out people's ears. I need y'all to pay attention to the dates. This young lady went missing on August 20th. She was reported missing on August 23rd. I'm purposely repeating myself with that for a reason, so that y'all can mentally see how long this young lady has been missing. Okay, she's been missing for a while. Sometimes I cover these cases, and the women are missing for 10, 20 years. And it's not just that they're missing and nobody knows where they are. They'll be missing, for example, and just like the little Brittany Robertson that I just covered, all fingers will point in one direction, and you have this madman running loose, and nobody is, batting an eye. So let's keep reading. So she says, if it was a clear woman, there would have been all kinds of warrants for his arrest, and his face would have been on everybody's news station as a wanted man. There would be all kinds of manhunts and cadaver dogs looking for him and my missing sister if she was a clear woman. This man is dangerous and has hurt several women. He is demonic and practices demonic rituals. Okay, I can see darkness all in his eyes, but let's keep going. He needs to be found as soon as possible. It's sad that a hurting family have to do law enforcement's job. And I'm gonna tell you this, just by running Black Women Aware. Because a lot of people were saying, oh well, it's sad that they had to wait this long. Y'all, that's the norm. And I hate to say it, and I'm not really directing my comments at Krystal's family, because I believe they're pretty new to missing persons, especially having to go through this with their sister and their mother and loved one and daughter, the fact that she is went missing. But I have been covering these cases for 2.5 years, and again, as I've already stressed, 2 months is bad that they waited like almost 2 months with Krystal's case, but I've seen cases go longer than that and be completely ignored, especially when it's a Black woman. That's just real shit, y'all. That's just real shit. Okay. And it's usually very common for families to have to do the work of law enforcement, and I talk about that all the time as well on Black Women Aware. And it's stressful and it's frustrating because you have law enforcement who have all kind of resources at their fingertips. They can subpoena social media platforms. They can just get people to bow at their every beck and call and get answers for these families, and they don't. Okay. So, anyways, let me keep going. The only way we are going to find my missing sister is to find the evil man who took her away from us. Please share. I need this man's picture everywhere. Someone please come forward. 10K reward. So there's a $10,000 reward for anyone who can lead us to the sister. Okay, so they already have the guy apprehended, but the award is for if you can lead them to the sister. I'm not giving up until I find my sister. Hashtag bring Krystal home. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to definitely do my best to get a hold of the sister again, because there's not a lot of pictures out there of Krystal. Okay, and I stress that on this channel, especially because Black women, when we get dressed, when we do our makeup, when we do our hair, we can look different from one picture to the next. So if I can, I will try to get a hold of her family to see if not only they have a GoFundMe set up, to see if they can give me more pictures of Krystal so that I can post them and things like that. But I'm glad that they have this man apprehended or whatever. Now we have to do the hard work. The hard work starts now, because we have to find this young lady. And sadly, like, I'm hoping she's found alive. I'm hoping with all my heart she's found alive. But just by what the family is saying, from what the sister has posted on social media, and just by how she was taken and everything, I highly doubt it, y'all. I just have to be honest. I highly doubt it, but I'm praying that whether passed away or alive, she is found and brought home back to her family. Her family needs closure, and not only do they deserve closure, but they deserve justice. Her 9-year-old baby who witnessed what happened is going to need a lot of therapy, not just for the moment, but chronic. This child is going to have a chronic trauma that's going to follow them throughout their lives. Okay, this ain't like, and I'm not trying to sound mean or anything, but I have to be brutal honest on Black Women Aware. This isn't the same as viewing a cousin going missing, viewing an auntie go missing. This is this child's mother. Okay, that the child witnessed being abused and all, and being put into a trunk. Okay, so that child is going to need major therapy, and I pray for Krystal's family, her sister, her mother. I'm here with y'all. I haven't forgot about Krystal, and any way that I can support on this channel, my email is always in the description box below. Just let me know. But for now, please remember what I always tell y'all. Be safe, be alert, and be aware. This is Candace Yvette, and I am signing off.